Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, Cinnamon Sugar, and I just want to do a quick thoughts post. Okay, so y'all see the title. P Valley been doing a lot this season, and I'm here for every single drop of it. And I just want to know what y'all think about it. If y'all notice some of this stuff, like what y'all got going on, what y'all think about it. This is what I want to say. I've said it somewhere else before, and I feel like I'm gonna leave out some of the stuff that I wanted to say. So I figured, let me just go on ahead and tell y'all what it was. Y'all excuse me, because when I get nervous, I know y'all probably have noticed that I scratch my scalp a lot. My scalp don't even be itchy, y'all, at all. I just be scratching and doing the least, and I'm like, Lord. So I just scratched the hair out of place. Y'all excuse me, I'm doing the most. My non-edges. But anyway, y'all, what I just put on my hair was this. This ain't gonna do nothing. It ain't gonna do nothing because nothing pretty much works for me because my hair be doing what it want to do. It's gonna roll up before I get up for work later. Anyway, I am shutting down because I am going to sleep for work later. Unless they call me and I wake up to a phone call where they telling me, "Oh, you ain't got to come to work. I got to go into work tomorrow, and then I'll be out Wednesday and Thursday." And they're going to get a rude awakening for Sunday if everything goes according to plan. Hallelujah in the name. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to tell y'all what happened. But we're going to get there. So anyway, I just needed to tell y'all about what I saw on this show. It's been a lot that was happening. So just with this last episode, that was a heavy episode. I'm trying to understand why Clifford is so carefree about his grandmother's condition. Like, that she going all the way through. She's sweating to death. Literally sweating to death. You checking her sugar. Her sugar is normal for once in life. Her sugar, her diabetes is under control. And now she's sweating to death. And you over here, you are either ignoring the fact that this heifer probably has and the vid, or you were just like, it ain't gonna be that bad. It'll pass. And I'm like, I feel like you ain't even doing nothing to treat it, to try to help her through it. Even though, like, when everything first started happening, we didn't know what we were supposed to be doing or anything to possibly do to help remedy the situation and the symptoms and all that stuff. But I just feel like you ain't doing nothing. Like, ain't no soup. And I mean, I know she's sweating. So then it's Mississippi, child. I know, I understand. But you ain't doing nothing. Then after everything popped off, little murder done rolled up. Why are you so careless that you done drug this man straight into the house? Child, this is what I said. Okay, I ended up having to post twice because it becomes very lengthy. So it's like, child. So this is what I said. I'm speaking on like several people. So this was this pertains to Mercedes. I said, Mercedes, Lord, I knew it. I knew it wouldn't end well. I just thought that she would have gotten at least 6 months out of them, and then it would start to unravel. Coach is trash. Feeling like less of a man because he couldn't please her anywhere near how well his wife was pleasing her. Focus on getting stamina, sir. Get on an alkaline diet and see how quick you can do away with Viagra and gas station pills. The only thing he did right was to have sea moss. I knew her daughter was pregnant. I called it a few episodes back. She's raising herself. That guardian needs to be in rehab, and I mean inpatient, longer than 30 days. The pastor hasn't been around much to get on my nerves, but when she shows up, it's always a mess. I'm so sick of her. It's the hypocrisy for me. All right. Teak was on my nerves. Now, I know a lot of y'all I'm probably going to get a lot of heat for talking about Teak, but whatever. Teak was on my nerves from day one. I understand that he went through a lot, but you cannot be around people like that when you are trying to elevate. He was beyond unstable. You have to remember that you cannot save everybody. Energy is transferable. And all the murder could do for him was pay for therapy, but he got him a car and sold him this fantasy dating slash entanglement situationship instead. Motivate and support from a safe distance, but what did I say? But as someone who has a very suicidal friend of 20 years, it will drain the life out of you trying to convince them that they are worthy of love, life, and happiness, but refuse to believe it. That only was a disservice to Teak, as we all saw, especially since Lil Murda's heart is with Clifford. I love Clifford, but if you are the boss, you should have told that raggedy heifer to be pumped full of non-drowsy allergy meds if she was so sure that she only had allergies before coming to work. I knew she was sick. Like, I'm so sick and tired of this. This is stupid. I don't play that sneezing and coughing out into the air foolishness, because who raised you? He was so careless to bring Lil Murda into that house and to ignore the fact that his grandmama is super sick. He might have just signed all of their death certificates. Now, what I said after that was, I was so shocked to see an older black person doing that particular way of trimming hair / removing split ends. I've seen this years upon years ago, but never done on black people, done by or on black people until I saw this episode. I know that it works, but I'm not sure if I'll do it in this lifetime. I love Diamond, but he needs to go on ahead and save Keyshawn from her trash excuse for a baby daddy and herself. It's cool that the actor's actual partner in real life is on here doing scenes with him, but their chemistry was here before they became an item, and I want to see Keyshawn get the man that she deserves. The funeral director / mortician got to go. As soon as they zoomed in on that drug, which is fentanyl, I couldn't think of how to spell it at the moment. And I was tired when I made that post. I was over it. I'm glad Rome is dead, but he might be just as big of a problem. Lil Murda has to understand how big of a deal he has become and is becoming, but find balance. Some people let it go to their heads, and I don't want him to become one of those people. Teak was selfish to off himself in front of Lil Murda. This man about to be traumatized and in therapy for the rest of his life after all of that. Like, it's too much. It's too much. And I don't know if y'all realized it or not, but there were so many Easter eggs in this episode and other episodes, but just to focus on this episode, Teak eventually had on this, well, I don't remember if it was the whole episode or not, but he had on a particular shirt, vest, sweater, or whatever. That's a particular type of a king. Some dealing with death or murder or something. I don't forget what it is, but it's associated with death, right? That's something that other people noticed. I didn't think about that. When he looked in the mirror, there was a picture that was up there, and it had like a devil in the shadow coming off of the picture of the person that had the cigarette in their mouth that was on the picture. So it's like there was so much death, so much pointing to death as far as Teak was concerned. So I could feel that it was happening even without the Easter eggs. And I was just like, child, this man got this man a car. And he's trying to be emotional about it, which is fine, but a lot of black men are told, you can't cry, you can't show emotions, whatever. And it was just a lot. It was a lot of people around, so that made it worse. And so he kind of was like, you all right? And so he like kind of dried the tears up, and then he over here doing donuts and trying to ignore the day. And I'm like, you can't just put all of what we learned about Teak, you can't just put that in a box and hide it away on the inside. You cannot do that. He should have been in therapy. He probably would have never gone to jail, prison, the pen, wherever he was. I think it was in the pen. He probably would have been in there less, or he probably wouldn't have ever gone had he sought out therapy, because that was very tragic situations that happened to him. Like, what in the world? What in the world? And I could tell that he was about to snap. I can't be around people like him. I don't care how much you've done for me. That is going to bring down my energy. That is going to bring down that's gonna make me go into a depressive state. Don't nobody have time for that. When I had my friend of 20 years, I'm talking about, I've always been cool with him. I ain't never had no issues with him. But he is just the type of person that he gets so overly depressed. And it's all because he ain't got no wife, girlfriend, all this other stuff like that. You have a house, you have money hand over fist, you don't have nothing to worry about. I kept trying to tell him stuff like that will come. You don't have to worry about not having someone. When the time is right, it's going to happen. You are going to find the person who you are deemed to be the husband to. That person will appreciate you. Other people have used him. I understand. And I'm looking at him like, I've been used. People have tried me in the past. Calm down. Like, I need for you to calm down. And he would just resort to cutting himself and all this other stuff. Now, keep in mind, he had eventually gotten counseling. I've been saying, please go to therapy. Please go to therapy. Please go to therapy. Finally got a therapist. Was going regularly. And I would check on him every single. He got to a point where he asked me, he was like, well, can you check on me every day, whatever. So I was like, sure. Because usually I would just check in like a couple of times a week or once a week or something like that. Because I'm not really, even though it seems like I might be, I'm not really big on being on the phone like that. So with texting, I done just got to a point, I don't be wanting to talk to nobody. I really don't. I be having to force myself to call my folks. But I need for them to know I'm alive and that I'm all right, or to update them on what's going on. So, that's the reason why I do that. But otherwise, I wouldn't even have a phone if I ain't have to have nobody to talk to let them know that I'm alive. So, yeah, right now, last I heard, he's been in the hospital for like 30 days, at least. Sad thing about it is I had to hear about it on accident because his ex-wife responded to a message that somebody left on his page saying, hey, just checking in on you, hadn't heard from you in a while. And like a lot of us were checking in on him all the time, but he's just the type of person where you would have to check in on him, see if he all right or whatever. And the ex-wife was like, well, unfortunately, he has been in the hospital for the last 20 some days. I was like, what? What is we talking about? And I already know it's from that. Ain't nothing else going on. I'm just like, was probably a suicide attempt. A suicide attempt that went like extremely, extremely far, and he was on the brink of death once he was found or whatever, because he's talked to me before and was like, yeah, I'm gonna drive off this bridge and drive off and be in the Chattahoochee River and this particular river that he was driving to. He was like, yeah, I'm about to go to this party in Atlanta, Georgia, and on my way back, I'm gonna do this. I'm like, what? Like, it was so much. Like, when I tell y'all, I would be so drained. I would pour so much into this person that it was killing me. And I'm talking about even after my relationship was over with my ex, I'm pouring into this dude, pouring into him. And I love my friend dearly, but I had to learn while dealing with him with this situation that I had to choose me. I had to choose me. And my thing is, I'm trying to live for me. I'm trying to do what I need to do so that I can live and do what I need to do for myself. I can't live for me and for you. I'm trying to talk to you. You don't want to listen to me. I'm motivating you. You don't want to hear it. I'm telling you very truthful things about yourself. You're choosing not to believe it. And I'm just like, Lord, I just can't. It was fighting a losing battle, and it was so stressful. Y'all, I tell y'all, it was so draining. I was like, I can't do this no more. I started slowly pulling away, and the more I pulled away, the more energy came back into me. More energy came back into me, and I'm just like, I shouldn't have to just be like, ooh, I can't talk to you no more because you're not finna kill me. And I don't know how many of y'all saw this or not, but it's true for the most part from everything that I've seen. And I feel like there are exceptions to the rule. But typically, men, when they get into relationships, the relationships benefit them. A lot of times they ain't up on what they need to do as far as their health is concerned. So doctor's appointments and stuff they should have been going to get checkups, especially when they get older, dealing with their colon and their prostate and all this other stuff. The girlfriend, the wife, and whoever else, they mama, if they mama ain't in they life, if they mama is there, then she probably making the appointments and telling them about it. And I'm like, child, their quality of life goes up while we are being drained. Then it's sad that when we're single, we got all this stuff happening for us. The depression ain't there for us no more. If we had it, like, it's like our quality of life is better because we are single. Now, like I was saying, there are situations that it's very different, because if you are with the right person and there's a balance, then you shouldn't have to deal with the draining and all of that stuff. And I'm pouring into you and you're getting all these benefits. That's not cool. I don't like stuff like that. But it is what it is. So anyway, yeah, with this situation with Lil Murda and Teak, he is killing himself trying to save Teak. And I'm just like, sir, I understand you want to bring him with you. You can't save everybody. And that is the sad reality of the situation. Everybody don't want to be saved. And with some people, they cannot be saved because they need to be saved from themselves. Meaning, with him, he needed deep counseling several times a week, more than 30 minutes, more than an hour. He needed it. The best of the best. He should have paid for this man to have therapy. And that would have probably helped him a little bit since it's so late in life. He already had been dealing with it, processing stuff. The way he processed stuff, his mind goes to a whole nother place. And it's like we all have our days. But for him to constantly have a loop in his mind, going back on all this stuff, he is never going forward. He's always stuck in a constant state of panic and I'm not good enough and all of it. It was too much. It was too much. It was draining me watching a whole TV show, and it was putting me in the mind state of what it was when I was allowing my friend to drain me. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I love you, but I can't do it. So the fact that Lil Murda, after all this stuff happened, came to this man's place where he resides with a whole other person's blood on his body. Didn't know whose it was, none of that. Here you go, you rolling up. Your place of solace is with him. But all this time, you over here trying to deny yourself of him because the world, you feel like the world is not going to see you the way that you want to be seen and not be judged. And I'm just like, had you been straight, they still was going to find something to say. Like, it don't matter. Like, that's why I be looking at people like, be yourself. I'd rather you be yourself than for you to sit up there and hurt somebody along the way. He did Teak a disservice because he should have just straight up not, like, he just sealed the deal. Now, I ain't gonna lie, they might have had some situations going on when they was in prison. So that might not have been their first time doing things with one another sexually. And I'm just like, this making him go even crazier. So then, that's why when I had this conversation with my friend. I said, what you not finna do is wake up after all we did was have sex. We ain't in no relationship. We ain't married. We ain't nothing. All of a sudden, you done woke up out your sleep. You rummaged through all of my stuff when we ain't a couple at all. You rummaging through all my stuff and you see the postcards I got ready to send off to somebody that I actually live for. Only for you to be like, you know what? All right, I'm going to be ready when he wake up. This man sat up here, took a good old shower, ironed his clothes, put his clothes on. The sun came up. He probably ate breakfast, everything, watched him, waited on that man to wake up, was sitting in the windowsill, and that man woke up like, what's going on? Where you at? Only for you to be like, who is this? Who are you? Like, y'all, I was so done. I said, no, you didn't. Take a shower, put on your clothes, and politely wait with your bags packed. But then you packed your bags and went straight to the car. I was done. I was like, oh, you gone, but you went straight to the car, though. If you gone, be done as the security guard or whatever it was you were supposed to be doing. Child, Teak was on my nerves. I cannot. He was on my nerves. Like I said, I 100% understand what he has gone through. Been through a lot of childhood trauma myself. But I'm just like, sir, the murder was in the bed, setting his own self up for failure. So now he gonna be sitting up there needing therapy himself, way worse than he ever needed it before. You witnessed this man kill himself in front of you. This man killed himself in front of you. Don't nobody have time. Mercedes, Lord, I was like, ma'am, you already ain't got custody of your daughter. I ain't gonna lie, I felt like last season was more than enough time, and she should have been able to have her daughter last season. So I'm confused as to why she ain't got her. And then, like, when she come around, wanting to be around you, wanting to be a part of the troupe or whatever you call it, the dance team and all that stuff, you like, no. Now the heifer pregnant, and I already called that. I knew it. That drunk heifer is everywhere but where she need to be. This child is out all hours of the night, all the time, with whatever friends that she has. I knew this was coming. This is a never-ending cycle. Y'all ain't do nothing to change the cycle. So I already knew she was going to end up pregnant too. Like, I was like, who didn't see this coming? Who did not see this coming? So this heifer pregnant. Then the situation with Coach. I'm just like, sir, I cannot. How you gonna sit up here and be mad at your wife? You out here cheating with permission. Now you gonna get mad that your wife over here getting her a piece of the action, and then you can't even rise to the occasion, literally, figuratively, in every single way possible. You gotta sit up here and create a cocktail just to try to keep up with Mercedes. And your stroke was weak, like everything was trash. I was just like, wait. And then when the wife started doing what she was doing, Mercedes was moaning a completely different way. He was like, wait a minute. He had to stop the whole situation. I'm just like, the sea moss was the only thing that he did right. Irish sea moss is all he did right. Hopefully it was purple. That's the only thing he did right in this situation. But the Viagra, no, that's poison. You could have had seeded watermelon and you would have been fine. You could have been detoxed, and whenever you knew you was going to do this, it would have been to a point where Mercedes would have been like, all right, now I'm tired. Like, when are you going to be done? But no, y'all don't want to do that. Y'all think that drinking all this alcohol all day, every day, and all that crap is supposed to do something. Having drunk penis, I don't understand why people make it seem like, oh, I got drunk penis. Because it's taking you forever to get to your destination. Don't nobody want that. That is not attractive. I don't understand. Anyway, who am I? But yeah, I really thought she was going to at least get 6 months in. At least now, bare minimum, before everything just began to unravel. I'm like, golly, girl, was it even a month yet? And he over here taking the money back. Oh no, she dumb. I was gonna roll over there with the suitcase and politely take my money. And if he would have tried something, I would have pulled a knife on him. Now, for her to be a stripper, I know good and well she got something on her. She got a gun, a knife, something. So I was shocked that she ain't pulled something on him. And then, NDAs were signed. So it's like, at this point, run me my money. And since you tried me, run me 6 months. And I ain't finna do nothing for them 6 months. And I will continue to uphold the agreement of this NDA. And we have nothing else to discuss after this. She'll still have all of the stuff that she need to have going for her company and all of that. And then can still get out of her life. If she's smart enough, she will invest and do what she need to do. Plus have her company. I'm just like, child, it's like every time she get her foot in the door, something knock her down. And I just be like, girl, you can't win for losing. What is going on? Child. Like I said, I like Diamond. I can't stand old boy. Well, I couldn't stand him when he was in the Have and the Have Not. When I tell you I couldn't stand the character, he played that role so good. He just made me feel like that's how he was in real life. I just could not stand him as Benny Young, but I live for him as Diamond. Like, he annoyed me so bad as Benny Young that even though he is nowhere near ugly, he was so unattractive to me as that character. I was like, oh no, he got to go. Don't nobody have time for this. But it's Diamond. Miracle Watts or whatever her name is. Yes, ma'am. I know that's right. I know that's right. I be here for everything they be posting about each other. When they be having their little moments, I be here for it. So anyway, I'm gonna just need for him and Keyshawn to go and get together. She need to be done with that baby daddy. She should have shot him the other day. Didn't do it. How you ain't got no battery in the car? Why he got the same car they had when they was in school and it's going through? He done took the battery. Did he take the battery out? Or was the battery not able to connect because it was trash? And they needed a new battery. I forgot. Anyway, I'm just like, that was the same car. My friend had to tell me that was the same Prius from when they was in high school. I was like, all right now. Come on now. Come on now. I wasn't understanding that because Heifer, you just came off tour. Tour money is where it's at. Even though they are at the lower level, she should have still had enough money to get something that actually runs. Didn't need no tune-up, didn't need nothing. Didn't need no parts added, none of that. I'm not understanding. She legit could have got two. She could have got one for her and one for him, even though she shouldn't have to buy him nothing. He need to have a job. Anyway, I was too done when she finally, how you finally get the guts and the will to run and you can't because you ain't got no battery. She dumb because I was going to call everybody I could. I was going to bribe whoever I could. I don't care if y'all got me down the street. She could have, I'm sorry, as bad off as she was, I would have walked somewhere. I understand it's Mississippi, it's hot. I'm from Alabama, I understand the heat. As bad as that situation was, worst come to worst, I would have prayed. I said, Lord, please don't let me or my kids die while I'm trying to get away from this man in this heat. Whether I had to walk or not. She should have called somebody. Oh, and then like, I'm not understanding why she didn't call. Well, no. She probably knew she wasn't going to be able to call nobody from down to the Pank because she over here riding around and getting it and everybody living for her. And it's like, girl, what is going on? Like I said, does he have the account information / the cards to the accounts? Or like, is the money getting squandered? I'm not understanding. Or was that all tied up in Rome and the money just, there was no payout yet? Like, she was out on the road too long to not have no money coming in. If that's the case, that ain't made the math. Is definitely not mathing with that because she should have had a bucket, a reliable bucket, some kind of a gently used car. She would have been able to buy at least one really nice gently used car if she was going to be there with him. So she would have been able to leave out. And I wouldn't have been letting him drive it. I'd be like, get your own. I ain't gonna lie to you. If anything, if I was planning on leaving, I would have gotten me a gently used car. And then I would have said, you know what? Let me hide this out at somebody's house. And I'm going to pay them a certain amount of money. Before I bring the money home to the house, I'm going to make sure they already got their payout and be like, when I call you, drop everything you doing, bring this car to me, I'm leaving. And it needs to be somebody trusted who ain't going to go back to him and tell him nothing. Somebody who he ain't got no connection to be like, oh, well, have you seen Keyshawn? You ain't finna roll up on me and ask me nothing about nobody. Bye. Need to do that. I don't understand why she can at least have some kind of a other plan, some kind of plan B or something. Then he came in the house, she chickened out. I actually thought last episode we were going to come into him being dead as well. Because it's like, she seemed like she bucked up for a second and was like, wait a minute, like you done beat me down. And the children are here. Like, the children are getting older. That oldest one, I know that oldest one can just about figure out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they ain't 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old and all that, but trust and believe, we be remembering things. I remember things from when I was like a toddler, and my mom was like, how you remember that? You was only this age. I used to remember the most random thing that actually happened, and it wasn't because somebody told me. My mom be like, how you know that? So yeah, we be remembering things. Anyway, y'all, I just wanted to vent a little bit and talk about some of the stuff that was going on. Oh, I lived for the magic aspect. Yes, Lord, the voodoo, hoodoo, or whatever Diamond was doing, I was here for every single bit of that. Whew. Anyway, y'all have a good one. I'm finna go my behind to sleep. so I can get to work. All right, y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all later. Bye.